You're like, just bring the whole thing, make it easy for people to give us money.
We're ready to go, Patrick.
Okey doke. I'd like to call this meeting, the May 14th meeting to order. And I would ask for a motion to approve the February minutes.
Approve.
Who's the second?
John is.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. All those in favor? Or how about anybody opposed? That's an easier way to say it. Okay, do we have any visitors' comments?
We have none.
All right. And so we're on to old business in the rooftop lighting update.
Rooftop lighting update. Frank has Strive scheduled to repair Holland's light strings, and also to do the estimation on the blue, I call it the Blue Dahlia building, not sure what the name of that building is. And then the Hagen properties, those 4 buildings on the Hagen properties. I said, get estimates for the back 2, but I know we've had a conversation about whether or not we do buildings that are set back off the roadway like that. So we'll have an estimate for it, but we can always eliminate that piece if we don't want to do that work.
Did you ask about the estimate to add the lights on ours?
I didn't, but I can easily add that into yours. So I'm
Okay.
sorry about that. I'll get that added.
Yeah, okay. And I mean, we're happy to put the bill for it. I'm not asking the district to, but if you might as well, while they're here, if you look at that, please.
So Frank will be reaching out to you, Angel, Frank Henning, our public works superintendent. So you know
Okay.
who that is. Okay.
All right, great. And if you need to give my cell phone, if that's easier, that's fine too.
Okay.
Okay. So on to new business and the Old Orchard Merchants.
We're all looking at each other here, so.
I don't know what that means. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Bob is no longer on the commission, so he's now off the account, and John is now a signature on the account. They took care of that.
Cool.
And that's all that's about.
Pretty much.
The bank just wanted to be mentioned in the meeting notes, and that we give them a copy of the meeting notes that says that what we just said.
Awesome. Simple. Cut to the chase. Well,
So-
on,
Angel, just quick on that, and for John and for Fran, is there anything else with the organization that needs to be done? And I only ask because I certainly can have the city attorney's firm. It's right for the district to help pay to, get the association up and going. So it's certainly within our scope of expenditure. So if there's anything we need to do state-wise,
We do.
filing for things, then
John has, Bob had started the process to reinstate it because it had, once Claire was gone, nobody was doing you have to do an annual registration with the state to keep your nonprofit status. He had submitted paperwork to reinstate it to cover all the years, and he said he never got anything back. So if you do a search, it says that it's still dissolved. And I think it dissolved in like
That's,
2013 or 15.
that's something that should be then put on the city attorney's annual.
yeah, that's fine. So we can have the city attorney set it up. The difference is in the future, once it's set up, then it needs to be somebody on the board of the Merchants and
Sure.
Merchants and Business Association. So,
To resubmit
Yes.
it,
yeah, so because technically you're not our entity.
right, once it's set up, it's a separate entity, it's a nonprofit,
You're now a nonprofit, not a city entity. So,
it's a 501c6, I believe.
I want to back up and clarify. You can pay, the district can give money to the association. That's for hiring the city attorney to do that, but it's not part of the city attorney's contract and scope within for the city. If that makes sense. And I mean, literally, those things are about $100 operation.
Right,
So,
I have them with LLC.
You know
You're
yeah,
always,
Right,
and I just have an attorney who sends me letters every year. I did your annual registration on these. So we should just pay somebody, otherwise Bob or Angel or somebody like that is gonna miss them again.
Right,
so I'm more than happy to have the Bruntrager and Billings, which is our city attorney firm. I can contact them, find out. They do it all the time. I'm sure they will be happy to do it. If not them, they'll have a recommendation. We'll be able to execute that and get it done for you. So.
and I think that's the best route to go.
yeah, then
We
we're
don't
pushing.
vote, do we? I mean.
No, you don't need to vote, no. And it's
Okay,
exactly the
fine.
same as Old Webster Trade Association.
Yeah.
The Old Webster Group, subsidizes the trade association, so it's all kosher, so.
Awesome. All righty. Moving on to gazebo series lineup.
Yes, we've announced it. If you follow us on Facebook, we did a post. We are starting with a friendly night like we did last year. The first night is kid centric. But we've got some good groups this time, and it's quite a mix of music.
Cool.
John and I were just talking, we've got an opportunity to do an advertising, and the Webster Kirkwood Times is doing what they call a keeper section, a pullout for summer calendar and live music, and we're gonna be in there.
What are you eating? Excuse me, a dog eating something. Give me that.
She disappeared.
Oh, sorry. Love
Dog
it.
ate your homework, Madam Chair?
I'm sorry. Yes.
The
that's-
dog ate your homework, yeah.
Yep, that's exactly what's happening this morning. It's been fun. Well, Fran, you can count on us again to sponsor like we did last year, so just FYI.
Excellent.
So. Anything else on gazebo?
No, next step is to start solicitation for sponsors.
Okey doke.
Pardon me?
You'll send the permit in like normal.
Yes, I will do the permit.
Thank you.
All right, we're rocking and rolling today. How about a BDC update?
BDC meets in 3 weeks, I suppose, about there. I wasn't at the last meeting and that was
Next
2 weeks
week.
ago. Next week?
Next week. I know it's a week early because
Okay, it's next week.
the
So
month started on a Wednesday.
everything's all screwed up this month, but biggest thing we're working on is the business directory online, which will have some information out to you all, and then also the collateral pieces, the QR code stickers that we've talked about. I did want to highlight, we have the August coffee coming up. I know it seems like it's May and we're,
I think they're changing the date to September.
well, why do they keep doing that to me? Anyways, we have a September coffee coming up for business coffee. I don't know what the topic will be. However, they do have their subcommittee on the CID, so the Community Improvement District, which I think in relation to the annual reports, if you would look at that email Fran sent with the annual reports, you'll see my budget memo that came back to you all. I think the real underlying thing there, well, you don't have these stresses yet. Old Webster certainly feeling them, where a desire to do a lot of different spending categories, between marketing, events and infrastructure, but a real static revenue line, right? And really, really tough to make enough revenue to meet that demand that they want to do. So it leans itself into a CID. It's a different way to fund the work that business districts want to do. That's not saying we're going that way. I'm giving you a sense of, this is why you see other places go from the business district model we have to the CID, is because of that sort of static revenue line versus a much more dynamic sales tax revenue line. So just so you're aware. And then on BDC, I don't think Fran, is there anything more about BDC that I don't know? So
No, there isn't anything else.
there we go. Fran has educated me and I've educated you all. So
Awesome. All right. How about a city update?
happy to give you a city update. I don't see a council member on. We will have a new council member in June. I believe it's Pam Bliss will be your Old Orchard liaison. They all change after a new council member is elected and such. So she'll be joining us in for Old Orchard. Couple things that are, obviously the city budget is out. We look forward to having whoever from the district here wants to present the annual report on Wednesday night. I think we have 4 people here, so Angel, we can figure out who's gonna give it. If push comes to shove and no one can make it, I can give the report for you, so it's.
Okay.
Easily can do that. But we're in the midst of budget. The council's gonna meet on Wednesday with all the boards and commissions. And then the following Tuesday, the 21st, they're gonna meet again. The council's gonna meet to talk about all the requests, the differences between what you requested and what was put in the budget by the manager. Is there anything they want to change, or things that where a board or commission is way off target on, and help to put some scope around things? I don't expect anything of concern for the business districts, but I just want you to be aware they're having that meeting on the 21st as well, to sort of finalize that process and move it forward in terms of your annual reports, your budget requests, and then the budget will commence through June with final adoption right before July 4th. We also have started a marketing, what's called an influencer marketing campaign on KEZK, which is one of the FM radio stations, very much very popular here in town and such. Julie Tristan, who is a Webster Groves resident, does the morning show. And she is our brand ambassador under that contract. And so you're going to hear some live spots about Explore Webster Groves, the brand name of, bringing people here. And your events are going to be a key piece of that. So like the gazebo lineup, now that we have that, she's going to start building that in. If you're coming out to the gazebo series, how, move through Old Orchard and visit our restaurants and go shopping and those live promotions and such. We also have added potential for some events. So there may be an opportunity, Fran, when I'm hooking up with you, to have Julie come to one of these, the gazebo series events.
Nice.
And do live, both social media and on air from the events. So I just want to give you that sense that you're going to hear some radio ads about Explore Webster Groves, where that's coming from. They're live. It's when they, like the DJ does the live ad and such like that. Julie Tristan is ours. No other city or local government or tourism entity owns her voice. She is exclusive to us now. So, obviously that is just one radio station, but it is a big stick with a big following and very much a female audience, which fits a lot of our retail patterns that we're, trying to drive foot traffic to and such. So.
And is that pretty much for a while? So that'll help with holiday boosting our events?
Yes, we have committed for a full year. So we started in April. Well, we had actually committed for about 14 months. So July 1 we'll start a full year contract. So.
Great.
Fiscal year.
Cool.
And we intend to, if that continues to work, we'll continue that on. So where I'm going at is it's important, and a lot of folks haven't gotten it, but our events page, the events like you have, but also business events that aren't sponsored by the city can go on our community calendar. So we're going to be wanting to get more and more of those in so that we can have those opportunities. KEZK, which is part of the Odyssey family, is also much like the Webster Kirkwood Times, has said, well, how do we look at it like a city subsidized package for radio? And I said, we're open to that. They need to give us a proposal. So essentially, I don't know, Angel, if a spot rate would be for you, let's say $50, we cut it in half and the city picks up half and you pick up half. And it's sort of like the game pages in the Webster Kirkwood Times. We're not sure if we're going to do that yet. That has to be all proposed out, but there's those potentials. And again, our commitment to helping to, increase traffic and footwork into the districts and all of our commercial areas. So.
So in reference to the presentation on Wednesday, do we need to talk about that now to address it? So I have a flight change and I was going to be there Wednesday night to do that. So is anybody available that can go and just present what's been written?
6:30 at Webster University Wednesday night.
To do what?
It's the annual report that was emailed up by Fran. It's literally to present to council. So to take my 12 bullet points and narrow them down to 2 or 3, give them a little spiel on
Wednesday the 22nd.
Wednesday the 15th
This week.
this week.
Tomorrow.
Webster University.
6:30. I will send you the email with the John. It looks like we have John who's willing.
Thanks. I might buy you a drink at Frisco. I mean,
I'll take you up on that.
okay, good. Thank you.
You should pick one he doesn't own, see what he does with that. So.
I know, yeah.
We'll do
Thanks,
R&D.
John.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
Appreciate that.
Secret shopper, right?
or
I'm there almost every day anyway, so between one of the two places, so. All right,
I forgot one quick thing, Angel. I'm sorry. The comprehensive plan, which is called Journey to Destination WG. If you're not familiar with a comprehensive plan, the city is governed by a comprehensive plan last done in 1978. That essentially is land use and planning, right? So how does a particular zoning change, a development that's proposed meet sort of the larger view of what the community wants to see land use done in Webster Groves? That is a year-long process. We're in the first 3 weeks of the comprehensive planning process. But I would expect within the next month, we're going to have the consultants start to talk to us as the business districts about what are we seeing in our districts? What do you want to see in the districts? in terms of your size. Many of you may have been invited to some of those small group meetings already. But they will come to this business district at some point, either in June or July, likely to talk about what's your goals as the advisory board for Old Orchard? What do you want to see happen in terms of land use and redevelopments and such along the way? There's a lot more behind it than what I just gave you. They'll explain a lot of that, but I just wanted to give you a heads up that that is coming in the coming months. And then Renee Tyler has been hired, our Deputy City Manager of Community Vitality, who will replace me. I will still be with you for at least 4 more months. We'll go through a transition where we're both with you, but she'll start next month in our meetings, going through with us, working side by side in tandem. So then you'll meet her. She's an accomplished professional, many different places of experience, very big experience in planning and in public works, which are the 2 big departments she's overseeing, and then also business development, much of which springs out of both of those disciplines. So,
Cool. Anything else anybody needs to bring up? Any other business or anything? Well, our next meeting is June 11th. So if there's nothing else, can I have a motion and a second to adjourn?
Motion.
I see a second from Rick.
Awesome. If anybody opposed to adjourning, make it easy. All right. Thank you. Thank you again, John. And thanks, Eric and Fran.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Welcome.